We're living in a society that is multicultural. People of different background, races, cultural heritage, countries even, all over the world. And so at a time like this, we need to be able to begin to question how we live life and how we respect human dignity. And even more so for our children right now. And I want to speak particularly at our children because they are living in this global situation, this digital world, where they even have the world in the palm of their hands in the cell phone. So it makes it more important for them to understand what we mean about equity in terms of this age in the 21st century when we are developing global citizenry. It is all about understanding balance and where we are placed, each of us, depending on our race, color, class, in a society where we can see definitely more people, some people having more privileges than others. And our children know that. They can see that. But I want them to understand the term equity, that it's a call for fairness in everything we do. But the question is, are we truly fair about how we treat people and about how we show empathy and understanding for the people we come across every day in our lives? Look at our children. They're going to school, right? And I'm speaking directly to them, children, kids, young people of this century. You're in a class, and your class is a mixed cultural heritage. Do you ever understand or even question? Do you even understand or question how your Chinese friend across the room live? Is he having the same privilege as you? Do you even question that young Afro-Caribbean young lady or girl or student who is sitting next to you? Do you ever question whether she experiences the same things as you growing up? Or even in the class itself, or even outside in the world, in your community even? Does she have the same privilege as you? Is she even experiencing her home life in the same way as you are experiencing it? Is she as happy as you with her home, her family? We need to question these things because when we talk about equity, we're talking about fairness. And it is hoped that every one of us, students, every one of you in particular, right, must begin to understand this, that the next person you see in your classroom may not be living the same life you're living, may not be experiencing the same wellness, the same empathy, the same privileges, right? Some of them are living in real poverty and may not even be able to respond to things that they're exposed to, that you're exposed to even. Okay? Think about it. This is a world of digital technology, for example. How many of our children are exposed right now to the different technologies? Some of us may have homes where our parents give us, right, the games to build our knowledge. We may have an iPhone, but somebody down the road may have an ordinary little phone. There's a difference there. And you may say a phone is a phone. And we all have phones, but what type of phones? So when we talk about fairness, therefore, we're talking about this equity. But still, there's another aspect to it. And that aspect is what I call the equality. How does that come? Because some people say equity relates to equality, and it's the same as equality. But not necessarily so at all. Because equality happens when you are exposed, both sets of children or all the children in your class are exposed to a particular phenomenon. And at the end of the day, their response will be different. For example, if your teacher should ask you to do an assignment in which you have to go and do research, and you may be able to do it because your mom and dad would be able to take you to where you can do that research. But think of that child in your class who may not have that access to parents who can readily take them to be able to get information to do that assignment well. And yes, they come to class and the teacher may ask about the assignment, but they have not yet finished it, but you have. So have you ever questioned why Johnny didn't finish his homework? And so even though you both were asked to do the same thing in the assignment, Johnny may be late in giving in his assignment. Why? It may be because Johnny did not have access to parents or even the facilities and the resources that he needs to be able to do that assignment very well. Okay? So, where does equality come in that? That's the outcome. It was fair in the sense that in terms of equity, that the assignment was given to all of you. It was clearly stated. Yet, the outcome was different. You were able to deliver because you had access to information and your support group and a supporting parents who can help you. But little Johnny did not have that kind of support. And so, at the end of the day, what do we see? You're no longer equal, are you? Because the teacher is going to praise you that you did your homework. But little Johnny will sit in the corner and wonder. And he will not be able to explain that he couldn't do the homework to you, because perhaps he's also embarrassed to do that, because he wants you to see him as equal to. Think about it. Equity, equality. I would love for you to look at those two words and get to learn them very well.